name is Elena, and I welcome you to Mia Cucina. What did I say? My name is Elena Jones, and welcome to Mia Cucina. Today I have a delicious gluten-free cookie for all of us that can't have gluten. And I created this cookie, and I love this cookie. It looks just like Christmas. You will find all of the ingredients by scrolling down on the recipe once you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have another channel that is an Instagram channel that's Elena's Cucina 11. Shall we start? I have 2 sticks of butter over here that what I want to do is I want to get them a nice fluffy. And that is happening, I am going to add my sugars in there. Again, all of my ingredients, guys, are by you subscribing, and you will find all of these ingredients. Now, to this, I am going to be adding this, what it's called organic natural vanilla bean. And it gives that, those little specks, if I can get it open. And I really love this, so I'm just going to add a nice heaping teaspoon to that, right into the butter. Because what we are doing right now is we want to really cream the butter with the sugars. And then on top of this, because I really love vanilla, I'm also going to use some vanilla extract. And I'm only going to use a half a teaspoon of the vanilla extract. And that pretty much takes care of all of, for now, just for now. I'm going to give myself a spatula. Because what I want to do is, look at that, I have a Christmas spatula. I love this time of the year. I'm going to stop this. And although my butter has been sitting out, it has been kind of chilly here in Florida. And the house always stays at a certain temperature. But sometimes, baking is finicky. Yes, finicky. All right, so now I'm just going to give it a real nice mix over here. While that is happening, let me put this to the side. I have some cranberries, pistachios, and I also have a ruby red grapefruit. You can use whatever grapefruit you want, but I'm going to be using this. And I'm going to get my zester because I forgot. And what I want to do is, while it's doing that, I'm going to lower this, and I am going to add to this 1 egg at a time. 1 egg at a time. There goes 1. Everything I'm utilizing is organic, certified organic, because I don't want any pesticides in my body. I am 66 and a half years old, in zero medication, and I want to keep it that way. So I got my eggs in there. All there. Good job. Woo-hoo. Pat yourself in the back or the thighs. Okay, I'm going to stop this so I can get the rest of these guys. I want all of this to be really well incorporated. And again, I set my butter out last night because it's got to be a room temperature. But this butter, because of the weather, and like I said, the temperature stays the same in the house. So I just want to have this in a lower, so I set this in a number 2, so it can combine easily. All right, so while that is happening, I'm going to bring your attention to the flour, and I am going to zest my grapefruit. And I find that, when you do this, it gives such a nice flavor, and then, you can eat the grapefruit. And that's what I'm going to do later. That's going to be my breakfast. So I just want to grate this entire beautiful grapefruit. Make sure you wash it very, very well. I go to a local farmer that is called Dooley's Farms. And they're not paying or anything like that. I'm just wanted to tell you that if you're in this area or if you're in Florida, you can go to this location called Dooley's Groves, and they have all kinds of wonderful things. Okay, now, because I really like to really taste mine, I have a different zester that I also like to use. And it's got a little bit bigger, guys. Now, if you don't like a lot of citrus, or if you can't have citrus, you may omit this part. but it really goes very well with the cranberries. And what I do is I buy my own cranberries, and then I dry my own cranberries, so then that way there's no extra sugars. And I will let you know how I do that in a later video. But you know, you can use whatever grapefruits, cranberries. I'm thinking of grapefruit, cranberries. So you see, it's starting to look really much nicer when they're like this, because I really want to see the specks of this cranberry. Grapefruit. Cranberry, see, you're getting more confused. Okay, so I'm done with this. Get that in there. And then I want to get a little fork, and I want to kind of mix this together. Now I'm going to add the rest of my dry ingredients into this, and I really want to combine it all. Combine it all like this. All right. And then what I want to do is I want to bring my cranberries that I have here. And like I said, I dry them myself, and they're not sticky or anything because of what I do with them. It's a very simple transaction, drying cranberries. And I just want to chop these up a little bit, because then that way, we can see all the specks throughout this beautiful holiday cookie, Christmas cookie, whatever you celebrate. We need to respect everybody's religious preferences and accept everyone the way they are, and to spread some love and cheer all year long, not just only through the holiday season. Okay, and I'm still doing that. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys, because you know what? Don't stress about it. It's an easy thing. I have my oven at 375 degrees, and these cookies are going to bake anywhere from 11 to 13 minutes. And then I'm going to show you the end product after I bake them. Oh, wait till you see them. They are very beautiful cookies. Very beautiful cookies. And this is still doing its thing over there. All right, so then what I want to do now is I want to take these guys, put them right back where I got them from. And see, they're not sticky because I dry them myself. You can dry them in a dehydrator. You can dry them, I actually use the oven. And, okay, so then I have my pistachios. I'm going to give, now the pistachios, they like to go everywhere. So just kind of keep your hands, safety first, just like that. And try to get them in there. And it is such a pretty color, the holidays or Christmas or whatever you're celebrating, when you go to the stores, it's all about the red and the green and the white. And this really has it with just a little bit of sunshine that comes from the grapefruit, because I love grapefruit. And grapefruit is really good. Now, I like the ruby red, because the ruby red is a little sweeter, and I have a sweet tooth. I don't know about you. And when I started getting sick from eating, the flour that we're having, and I went into gluten-free, I did not know how to make gluten-free cookies. And in those days, there really weren't that many options. And then doing research, I started finding out about different flours. And then I found a flour that is called 1-in-1 a gluten-free baking flour that has everything of all the flours that I used to use to try to make the cookie. Okay, so I'm still chopping this. All right, well, when I'm chopping this, I'm going to get myself a spoon, because now I'm going to start spooning slowly. See what I'm doing? Slowly. Let it incorporate. And then I'm going to continue to chop. And then I have one of these guys that's going to help me to not make my cookies too big, so I can have a couple that would equal one big one. Yeah, right. Well, you gotta have fun, but you also gotta watch out when you are a certain young age. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put these guys in here like so. And I want all of the, you know, whatever, all of this goodness. And actually, I'm just going to put them all in there. And then what I'm going to do to this is I'm going to take some of the flour and add it to that. And add it to that, and I'll tell you why. All right, so now as you can see, you know, as I am adding a little bit at a time, it's really incorporating, you know, again, it's in low. I'm using number 2. Oven is on 375. The cookies are going to be baked anywhere from 11 to 13 minutes. And then I'm going to cool them all off, and then I'm going to show you what they look like. And they're so tasty. Okay, now I'm going to add some more. Because what we want to do is we want to go slow. And while that is doing that, I am going to take the cranberries and I'm just going to mix them, even if they kind of get in here. Because what happens is when you put a little bit of the flour, the cranberries that are not end up in on the bottom, they'll be throughout the entire cookie. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pistachios. Very easy cookie, very simple transaction. You know, if you celebrate Christmas, it looks like Christmas. It's beginning to look like the holidays everywhere I go. Yes, I do not have Google today. Google is, I've given her off. Google is off today. Okay, now we add the rest of the ingredients in there. So this is looking good. I'm gonna get this out. I'm gonna get my nice Christmas spatula out, and I just want to get all of these guys out of this right here because they kind of clump a little bit together, and I really don't want them clumping together. And I'm just gonna go to the sides because, you know, these cookies are so special. I only make them one time a year. And I really look forward to this time because people tend to be a little nice. Now I'm going to add my cranberries to that with the rest of my little flour. I'm done with that. My pistachios, done with that. And now this guy is doing good. Take this out. Let me get this out here. Let me get this over here. I'm getting a lot of things here and there. So then that way I don't have to deal with having to take this off and do all of that stuff because it's all going to be in here. Just like so. Very easy. Very, very easy. All right, you know what? I'm going to tell you how I dry my cranberries. Because I think everybody should know how to do it. What I do with my cranberries, I take my cranberries, I wash them very well, and then I cut them in half. And then and then when I have my oven on, you know, it could be 375. I put them in a parchment paper like that. I spread them all out. But before I spread them out, I add a teaspoon of olive oil and mix it really, really well so all of the cranberries are coated. Because if you put the cranberries in there, they're just going to be brittle. But if you put a little bit of the olive oil, or it could be any kind of oil, but I prefer olive oil. Imagine that, you know, I'm in Italian, you know, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. And then what I do is I put it on a 375 oven for a good 15 minutes. Then I shut the oven off and I leave them there overnight. And when you wake up, you have all your beautiful dry cranberries that has no sugar and nothing added, just pure cranberries. All right, so the next transaction is, let me turn my board over, is to bring my cookie sheet that I have a parchment paper. And then what we're going to start doing is that we're just going to take the cookies and just, you know, they're not going to spread too much. So sometimes depending on how big I make the cookies, sometimes I can get a couple of dozen cookies. And like I said, when they bake, they look so beautiful. They're so pretty. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of giving them about an inch. And I have 2 cookie sheets going here. So, alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish making my little cookies 375 from 11 to 13, 15 minutes, and I'll be right back. Ciao, ciao. And the cookies came out of the oven and they have cooled. Let me bring them to you. Look how beautiful they are. And I grow my own cranberry hibiscus plant. And what I've done is I just added some flowers to it and some of the leaves because it's edible. Enjoy, everybody, and happy holidays. Ciao, ciao.